Hi guys, it's Messiah Boxing here, bringing you up to the latest news around the world of boxing. Recapping on Sergey Kovalev versus Andre Ward. Was it outrage? Do we think Andre Ward didn't win that fight at all, or do we think he definitely won that fight? Did you prefer the slickness of Andre Ward? Did you find he had more effective punches? I'd love to hear from you guys to, see how, as an Andre Ward fan, how he won the fight. Was he just throwing better punches? Was he better defense? Did he have better all-round, maneuvers? Do you believe Sergey Kovalev's punches weren't effective? I'd love to hear from you guys. I mean, Twitter's gone into a meltdown about the decision, believing that Andre Ward shouldn't have won this fight at all. They believe Sergey Kovalev was very dominant, and to score Andre Ward as a winner, they see as an outrage. I'm going to sit on the fence for this one, just because my opinions, I believe Andre Ward didn't win that fight any shape or form. So I'm just going to hear what you guys believe about it. I mean, I believe from round one, Andre Ward come out very tight, close round, gave it to Sergey Kovalev. I thought he's throwing in effective punches. I think when Andre Ward started to come forward and start to grow in the fight just a little bit, he got put down, and Sergey Kovalev put him down. I feel he could have jumped on Ward. I think Ward was there for the taking. I don't believe Ward could have done anything if Kovalev come at him with a storm. So I think that was very disappointing that Kovalev didn't really do that. For the first 6 rounds, I think Kovalev dominated from round 1 to round 6. I think all cards for 10s for Sergey Kovalev. I think he won. He was 53 up, I believe, on the first 6 rounds. That's how I would have scored it. And then if you were going to score the second half of the fight to Andre Ward, which I don't think you should have, I think maybe 3 to 4 rounds. I believe Andre Ward won maximum from round 6. I think he won round 8. I think he round 10 and round 7. I believe he could have won. I don't believe anything more than that. I think it was the rounds I thought he could have won were very tight. Could have gone either way. But if you were to score it in Ward's favour, I still think that's 3 rounds. For me, it's 1-1-5, 1-1-12 to Kovalev. I don't think Andre Ward was even close. If you were to score, like I said, the first few rounds, 60 to Sergey Kovalev, which I believe was fact, and 53 because of the 10-8 round, and to Andre Ward, that would have been the first 6 rounds. And then Andre Ward winning it all, it'd still be, if Andre Ward, it was a 10-9 all the way up for Andre Ward from round 6 to 12, it'd be a 1-1-14, 1-1-13 still to Sergey Kovalev. So, I don't understand how he I still think Sergey Kovalev won that fight. When you break the fight down, if you actually watch the fight, from round 6 to 12, forget the first 6, just say it's a 6-round fight. From round 6 to 12, does Andre Ward nick that fight? Does he win that fight from round 6? Possibly. But for the first 6 rounds, I think it was totally dominant to Sergey Kovalev, and I still think he was dominant all the way through. But I think for the first 6 rounds, Kovalev just absolutely dominated it. Ward had succession. He hit him with some big shots that put opponents down before and put them out, but it didn't affect Sergey Kovalev. I think Sergey Kovalev was being worn down by Andre Ward. Body shots, getting inside. I think that's where he had his most success, Andre Ward. And I think he slowed Kovalev down near the end. But nothing there for me to suggest Andre Ward won that fight. Now we're in a situation where you got it was a decision. Pound for pound best fight in the world. That's what it was. That was what that fight was for, really. Forget the belts. Both on O's, none of them defeated, and this was a big test. This was going to be a big fight for them both. We knew none of them were going to come out flying, because it was such a bit. They want that title so much. They want to keep that O. Andre Ward come out victorious on it. I don't think he should have. The fight was always going to be like that, tight, close. I didn't think there was going to be a knockdown. I honestly didn't. From before the fight, as a neutral, I would have gone on Andre Ward to win on points from the start. Watching the fight, I didn't think that's how it would go. I thought Andre Ward would be dominant. I think it would come on strongly in the second half of the fight. Kovalev trying to come back. I don't see him winning at all. But it was actually vice versa. Kovalev was too powerful for Ward sometimes. The shots that hit Andre Ward really, you could tell, backed him up sometimes. I don't think Andre Ward, when he hit him with big flash shots, did the same. So now we've got to go to a situation now. These guys wanted that 0 to be kept. Obviously someone was going to lose it. The person who lost it was controversially, which makes it bad for the sport of boxing, which we don't want to see. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see Andre Ward winning. Even if I was an Andre Ward fan, I wouldn't want to see him win that way, you know. You got to say fair play to people sometimes if they win. They come in to win and they win, you know. Mayweather, Pacquiao. Fair play to Mayweather. Wasn't exciting, but you can say fair play Mayweather. You dominated the fight. With this, he didn't. It reminds me a bit of Vladimir Klitschko, David Haye, on the sense of it was so dominant to Klitschko, but people were still kind of thinking Haye could have won that fight. There was succession there for both people, for like David Haye on that fight, but he just got dominated, and I think that's the same way as Sergey Kovalev and Andre Ward. I just can't. Honestly, I'm trying to find for as hard as I can how Andre Ward won that fight. I can't honestly. I just can't for the life of me believe this has happened. But what next? What next for both fighters? Andre Ward's now the champion. Will he want the rematch? Will the rematch happen? Would you want to see the rematch? Don't know, guys, let me know. Would you want to see Andre Ward back in the ring? I think if you was an Andre Ward fan, you wouldn't want to see the fight again. But if you're a Kovalev fight, you would take that fight any day long. You want that fight. Because maybe you thought, you know, that Kovalev won, which I believe he did. I think Kovalev's won this fight. So I think he wants the rematch. There's been talks, you know, about, you know, what he said after the fight, and it was a tight fight, and he believes Andre Ward won because of Andre Ward fighting in America, believes that all the judges were American, and that's why he won the fight. Is that wrong to say? You know, man, sometimes in boxing you just got to say how you feel, and if you feel that's why, there's nothing wrong with that opinion. You can only assume that's what it is, can't you? You can only assume that's what it is, as nobody sees the fight go in Ward's favour. I don't want to personally see the rematch, but I do because I feel sorry for Kovalev. You know, if you're a guy that's been boxing, you've been winning every single fight, you dominate every fight, you know, you're on 0, and then you're fighting a guy that's done basically the same as what you've done. You want a good fight, you want to keep your 0, you want to be pound for pound best fighter in the world, and to lose controversially, I don't think it's fair. The only fight you lost in your career was because of that. I mean, it's a bit like Mayweather not getting his gold medal. He should have got his gold medal. I mean, we can sort this out. We can have the rematch, but will people want it? I think it'll be like the same. I think it'll be the same fight. It's not so much excitable fight. I don't think it's a great fight. I don't think the second fight will be a great fight. But I'll tell you what it will be. It will be revenge for Sergey Kovalev. He will want that more, because he felt on the first fight he was winning that fight. He felt he won that round. He thought he won every single round. I don't believe Andre, just his aura, the way he presented himself, I don't think he believed that he won that fight. Whereas I think Kovalev did, and I think Kovalev's second time will have that hunger and that revenge. He will want this. He will want his belts back. But at the end of the day, he's never going to get his unbeaten record back, which he should have. He should have his unbeaten record, and because of that, you might just go, so what? But I don't think it's fair personally. I think it was a wrong decision, and I think going forward, the only thing you can really do is the only thing you can really do is just try and get a rematch if you're Sergey Kovalev, but I don't believe it will happen. Yeah, 114, 113 to Ward is on all three is this wrong, and I honestly now believe Andre Ward should have lost that fight. What do you guys think? Do you think that Kovalev wasn't as dominant as maybe I saw it? Maybe you think I'm talking about I'm being silly, stupid, whatever. What do you think? I'm speechless on it because I just can't see how he won the fight. I also believe, Kovalev was throwing the more effective punches. You can't deny that. He's throwing the more powerful shots, hitting, hurting Ward more. Just can't see it. And America's in a bit of a weird place right now for boxing because you've got some phenomenal boxers over in America. You've got some brilliant boxers. You've got your Deontay Wilders and all the great fighters in there right now. But making bad decisions like that, is that going to sway boxers from going over to America? Not sure. I don't think so. But America's in a bit of a place now where me growing up as a kid, I always thought the place to make it is America, but now I'm thinking it's not really the right place for boxing because decisions like this happen all the time. You need to... I don't believe it's an American thing. I'll rephrase that because it sounds like I'm having a dig at it. Not believe it's an American thing. I mean, there's phenomenal fights that happen in America, but sometimes decisions go to their home fighters more than... I know wherever you box that seems to happen, but we don't want going to America being like what it was going to Germany for Vladimir Klitschko, where it's just so unfair, it's just stupid. I mean, if it were... I just can't... If for the life of me, I mean, bad decisions happen all around the world, so it's not really an American thing, to be fair, but it just seems every time I stay up to watch an American fight, that happens over in America, it goes to points and the decision seems to be either the scorecard's too far out or the scorecard's just completely wrong. Maybe it's just me, guys, maybe it's just me being stupid. Maybe you guys will totally disagree with me and tell me so. Let me know, guys. Do you think British boxing, European boxing is better than American boxing? Do you believe that the place right now for boxing is the UK and not America? Do we think it's an American thing that even got anything to do with this fight? I mean, I personally don't, but I'm just reading what you guys are saying. It's because America's, with what's happening with Donald Trump becoming president, which I think's got nothing to do with it personally. I think it's a stupid comparison. Boxing's boxing, politics is politics. The reason why Andre Ward won that fight is because all three judges believed he won the fight, nothing else. And I hope that's what it is, and I don't hope it's anything else. And for 1 minute, I'm not saying that at all, but just, I'm just saying what people are saying right now all over Twitter. I'm reading Twitter here, it's saying it's an American thing. I don't believe it's an American thing, but like I said, sometimes when I watch an American fight, sometimes the decisions are wrong. Anyway, if you are new, put a like in. If you're new, to subscribe would be great. I just want to hear what you guys think about this fight. Do you think that Andre Ward won the fight and how he won the fight? That's about it. But cheers, guys.